Nikola Tesla once said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." But here's what he didn't tell you. You're not just observing frequencies. You are the frequency. And the moment you understand what that means, everything you thought you knew about manifestation falls apart. Because you've been trying to attract a new reality when you should have been collapsing it. And I know you've tried. You really have. You've visualized. You've affirmed. You've raised your vibration. You've done the meditations, the vision boards, the gratitude journals. And maybe things shifted for a moment. But then you're right back in the same loop. Same money stress. Same relationship patterns. Same feeling of being stuck. Here's the truth nobody's telling you. You're not doing it wrong. You're just observing from the wrong place. Let me show you what I mean. In 1801, a scientist named Thomas Young did something that would shatter our understanding of reality forever. He shot particles of light through two slits. When no one was watching, the particles acted like waves, creating an interference pattern. Infinite possibilities, all existing at once. But the moment someone observed which slit the particle went through, everything changed. The wave collapsed. The particle chose a single path. Think of reality like a choose-your-own-adventure book. But you don't even realize you're the one picking the page until you look. That's the observer effect. And you're doing this every single moment of your life. The quantum field isn't some abstract concept in a lab. It's the invisible fabric of your reality, and it's responding to one thing: the frequency of your observation. Not your thoughts, not your actions, your observation. The lens through which you're collapsing infinite possibilities into your lived experience. Right now, there are infinite versions of your life existing as potential. Infinite timelines, infinite outcomes, all vibrating in the quantum field, waiting. And the one that collapses into your reality, the one that matches the frequency of your observer, not the you that's hoping, the you that's observing. So here's the real question. Who is the observer inside you right now? And is that observer collapsing the reality you actually want? Let's shatter something here. Because most people think the problem is out there. The economy, the past, bad luck, other people. But here's the truth no one tells you. The biggest obstacle isn't external. It's internal. It's your subconscious observer. Your conscious mind, the part reading these words right now, makes up maybe 5% of your mental activity. The other 95%. That's your subconscious. And it's been running the show. It's the part that's been on autopilot for decades. Scanning for danger. Looking for proof of not enough. Collapsing waves of scarcity before you even realize it's happening. That's the real enemy. Not out there. In here. The subconscious observer that learned to see the world through the lens of survival, fear, and limitation. And here's where it gets really wild. Your subconscious observer doesn't care about what you want. It cares about what's familiar. What's safe. What matches the identity it's been protecting for years. And if you're starting to see how this changes everything, hit subscribe and write in the comment section, "I create my own reality." Because we're going deep into the mechanics of reality creation that most channels won't touch. So when you say you want more money, but your subconscious observer is scanning your bank account with dread, you're collapsing the wave of scarcity. When you say you want love, but your observer is looking for signs of rejection, you're collapsing the wave of abandonment. Not because you're broken, not because manifestation doesn't work, but because you're observing from the wrong place. And the good news? Once you see it, you can shift it. So let's talk about the shift. Because this isn't about positive thinking. It's not about faking it till you make it. It's about recognizing which observer is collapsing your reality and choosing a different one. Here's what the old observer does. You're standing in line at the grocery store, heart pounding, wondering if your card will decline. Your body's tense. Your breath is shallow. And in that moment, you're not just worried about money. You're collapsing the quantum field from the frequency of not enough. The field doesn't hear your words. It responds to your observation, and your observation is, I am someone who doesn't have enough. Now here's what the new observer does. Same grocery store, same line, but you pause, you breathe, you feel your feet on the ground, and you choose to observe from a different place. Not performing abundance, not pretending, but genuinely recognizing, right here, right now, I am safe, I am resourced, I am the observer who trusts, and the field responds to that frequency. That's the quantum shift, not the content of your thoughts. The context of your observation, not what you're trying to get, what you're choosing to be. Or here's another one. You're waiting for a text from someone you care about. The old observer is scanning for rejection, checking the phone every 2 minutes, spiraling into stories about what their silence means. And in that observation, you're collapsing the wave of unworthiness. You're literally creating the experience of being someone who isn't chosen. Not because it's true, but because that's the frequency you're observing from. The new observer puts the phone down, chooses to be present, recognizes that their worth isn't determined by someone else's response time, and from that place of wholeness, they collapse a completely different reality, not fighting the old timeline, rising into the new one, not hoping it works, knowing it already is. That's the difference, and it's everything. So let's get practical, because this isn't just philosophy. This is how you actually shift your reality in the areas that matter most. Money. The old observer checks the bank account and feels the grip of fear, immediately starts calculating, worrying, contracting. That observer is collapsing scarcity. The new observer checks the same account and chooses a different observation. This is where I am right now. And I am the one who creates. I am the one who expands. I am resourced, even here, not denying reality, but not collapsing from fear. And from that frequency, solutions appear. Opportunities open. Money moves. Not because you wished harder, because you observed differently. Love. The old observer sees happy couples and feels the ache of loneliness, collapses into the story of being unlovable, being left behind, being too much or not enough. The new observer sees the same couples and chooses, I celebrate their love, and I know that love is already here. I am the one who is whole. I am the one who is ready. I am love, observing itself. And from that observation, everything shifts. Not because you performed worthiness, but because you stopped collapsing the wave of separation. You became the frequency of love, and love responds to love. You're not alone in this shift, by the way. Thousands of people are waking up to this truth right now. You're part of a movement. Keep going. Health. The old observer feels pain in their body and immediately spirals. What if it's serious? What if it gets worse? What if I'm broken? That observation collapses the wave of illness. The new observer feels the same sensation and chooses, my body is communicating. I am listening. I am the one who heals. I am safe in this body, and I trust the intelligence within me. Not bypassing medical care, but not collapsing into fear. And from that place of trust, the body responds. Healing accelerates. Pain shifts. Not because you ignored it, because you observed it differently. Now here's where this gets even more powerful. Because the words you use, they're not just communication, they're observation tools. They're collapsing the quantum field with every sentence. Let me show you what I mean. Old observer language. I hope this works. I'm trying to manifest. Maybe someday. I wish I could. Every single one of those phrases is collapsing the wave of separation, of not having, of being someone who's still waiting. New observer language. I am, I choose, I trust, I know, I allow. These aren't affirmations you're forcing. These are observations you're choosing. And the quantum field responds to the frequency of certainty, not hope. Here's a practical example. You're about to have a difficult conversation. The old observer says, I hope they understand me. I hope this doesn't go badly. That's collapsing the wave of conflict, of misunderstanding, of being someone who isn't heard. The new observer says, I trust myself to communicate clearly. I am grounded in my truth. I allow this conversation to unfold with grace. Same conversation, completely different quantum collapse, and you'll feel the difference in your body before you even speak. Or here's another one. You're starting a new project. The old observer says, I hope I don't fail. What if no one cares? What if I'm not good enough? That's collapsing the wave of inadequacy, of rejection, of being someone who doesn't succeed. The new observer says, I am the one who creates value. I trust the process. I know this is unfolding exactly as it should. Not performing confidence, not faking certainty, but genuinely choosing to observe from the place of the creator, not the victim. The real question isn't, will this work? It's, what am I choosing to observe right now? And that question changes everything. Now let's talk about gratitude. Because most people are using it wrong. They're treating it like a transaction. Like if they're grateful enough, the universe will finally give them what they want. But that's still the old observer. Still collapsing from lack. Still operating from I don't have, so I'll be grateful for what I do have in hopes of getting more. The new observer uses gratitude completely differently. Not as a tool to get, but as a recognition of what already is. Here's what I mean. You're grateful for the money in your account. Not because you're trying to attract more, but because you're recognizing I am the one who is resourced. I am the one who creates value. I am abundance observing itself. You're grateful for your body, not because you're trying to manifest health, but because you're recognizing, I am the one who is alive. I am the one who is healing. I am vitality, observing itself. You're grateful for the people in your life, not because you're trying to attract better relationships, but because you're recognizing, I am the one who is loved. I am the one who connects. I am love, observing itself. That's the shift. Gratitude isn't a strategy, it's an observation. And when you observe from gratitude, you collapse the wave of having, not wanting. The quantum field doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your frequency. And the frequency of genuine gratitude, that's the frequency of someone who already has, someone who already is, someone who's observing from wholeness, not lack. So here's the practice. Every morning, before you check your phone, before you start calculating and worrying and planning, pause, put your hand on your heart, and ask yourself, what am I grateful for right now? Not because I'm trying to get more, but because I genuinely recognize what is. And feel that. Let your body embody that frequency, because that's the observer who collapses miracles. So here's where we land. And this is the part that changes everything. You are not trying to become the observer. You already are the observer. You've always been the observer. You just forgot. You got so identified with the content of your observation, the stories, the circumstances, the patterns, that you forgot you were the one observing it all. But right now, in this exact moment, you can remember. Not through effort, not through striving, but through recognition. You are not the anxiety. You are the one observing the anxiety. You are not the scarcity. You are the one observing the scarcity. You are not the unworthiness. You are the one observing the unworthiness. And the moment you recognize that, truly recognize it, you realize you've been collapsing reality from a place that was never actually you. You've been letting the subconscious observer run the show. The one that learned to survive. The one that learned to protect. The one that learned to scan for danger and proof of not enough. But that observer, it's not the real you. It's just a pattern, a habit, a frequency you inherited and reinforced until it felt like identity. And now you get to choose. Not performing the shift, embodying the shift. Not becoming the observer, recognizing you already are. This is where quantum physics and spirituality merge into one truth. Consciousness doesn't just observe reality. Consciousness is reality. And you are that consciousness. choosing which wave to collapse in every single moment. Not someday. Not when you're healed enough, or worthy enough, or ready enough. Right now. Right here. In this breath. This is where it begins. Not tomorrow. Not when you're ready. Right here. And I'm witnessing this shift with you. So here's what I want you to do in the next 24 hours. Not next week. Not when you feel like it. In the next 24 hours. Identify one pattern from your old observer that you're ready to disrupt. Just one. Maybe it's the way you check your bank account with dread. Maybe it's how you scan every room for judgment. Maybe it's the grip in your chest when you think about the future. Maybe it's the story you tell yourself about why love never works out. Maybe it's the way you apologize for taking up space. Just one pattern. Name it. And then make one different choice from the new observer. Not a huge change. Not a complete transformation. Just one moment where you choose to observe differently. Check your bank account and choose, I am resourced. Walk into a room and choose, I am welcome here. Think about the future and choose, I trust what's unfolding. Think about love and choose, I am whole. Take up space and choose, I belong here. One pattern, one different observation, and watch what collapses. Because here's what most people don't realize. You don't need to shift everything at once. You just need to shift once, and then again, until the new observer becomes the dominant frequency. And I want to witness that shift with you. So right here in the comments, complete this sentence. I'm disrupting the pattern of, and tell me what you're choosing to observe differently. Because the moment you name it, you've already started collapsing a different wave. The moment you declare it, you've already shifted the frequency. And I want to see what opens up for you. And if this resonated, if something clicked, hit that like button and subscribe. Because we're going deeper into the mechanics of reality creation. We're exploring how consciousness shapes matter, how observation collapses possibility, how you are the quantum field, experiencing itself. This is just the beginning, and I'm grateful you're here for it. Remember, you are not trying to attract a new reality. You are collapsing it. Right now, in this moment, with every observation you choose, the quantum field is waiting, not for you to be ready, but for you to remember, you are the observer. You always have been. Now choose what you're going to see.